everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. My name's Johnny Lee, and this is the Tone Deaf Guitar Lab. It's just that every now and then, and I do mean every now and then, it's not a regular thing, I tend to do like a bike video, and it's really strange because I haven't done one for a very long time. And this now, go on, please don't scratch my new bike. I haven't done one for a very long time, and the reason for that is I kind of thought that I was just stuck on the Triumph Tiger 1050 that I'd bought. But if you've been following my channel for a while, following the videos, you know that I was in hospital for a little while. I went blind in one eye, and while I was in hospital, not bad, while I was in hospital, I suddenly decided that the Harley Davidson was the bike that I'd always wanted, so I just thought I'd fucking buy one. So this is a 2018 Harley Davidson Street Glide, black and chrome, which makes me a chromosexual. But the question is, do they make sense on British roads? Well, if you look at the sky at the minute, up there, that yellow thing, we don't get a lot of that. It's normally raining, it's windy, it's grey. Our roads are absolutely shockingly bad. I mean, we pay road tax, but what for? For what? There's potholes everywhere, there's work going on all over the place, there's gravel all over the road. And it's just, I do wonder where the money goes. However, that's politics, and we don't do politics here. So should you be buying a Harley Davidson? And should you be buying a Harley Davidson Street Glide? More to the point. Well, look, it's an 1800cc. This one has got a stage 1 on it, which means it's had an air filter, an exhaust, and a tune to match. However, there's a problem. In between its MOT and the new MOT, it didn't really go anywhere. It kind of just sat. So it's obviously been well looked after. You've seen on the B-roll, it's really shiny, it's really clean. I haven't really done anything to it. It kind of just arrived like that. So somebody's looked after it and cherished it, and it's not been ridden a lot. Again, now that could be to do with how crap the roads are, how crap the weather is. Maybe somebody's just kind of fell out of love with it. Or the fact that it weighs the same as a house. It could be that. It could be that it just weighs as much as 3 fucking Sherman tanks. So because this is sat for a little while and the battery went flat, Harleys are a little bit kind of finicky when it comes to having flat batteries. And what happens is, apparently, according to the Facebook forums, the radio kind of disassociates itself from the bike. So when I start this bike up, what happens is this radio in front of me here, which works, it totally works, it beeps all the time. It does this weird kind of beeping noise, and the only way to get rid of it is to mute it, basically. Just mute the radio. And let's be honest, I'd only ever use this for a little bit of sat nav, which I don't need, you know, I don't need the volume up at the sat nav anyway, because normally I've got a phone mounted there, and I use everything on Google Maps, which goes into the Bluetooth helmet that I'm wearing, or I use a Cardo system as well, so it doesn't bother me. You're not going to see me pulling up to the light on this playing Shania Twain. Is the Harley Davidson Street Glide for you, especially on British roads? I'm probably going to say a high percentage of people would probably say no. And previously I was one of them before I was in hospital and I was blind, and you know, I'd kind of always wanted one of these, and then it just became, look, I'm doing it, I don't care, I'm just buying it. So let's talk about the downsides to this bike. Okay, one, it's heavy. I mean, it's really heavy. This batwing fairing, which is attached to the forks, it's attached to the bars. I think on the Road Glide it's separate and the bars move independently of the fairing. It's heavy. And most people will say, yeah, but once it's moving it's fine. Yeah, it is, yeah. But again, in the UK, that's scary. I'm waiting for somebody to come flying around that corner now, not realising that there's fucking traffic, and wipe me out. And I'm pretty lucky because, I mean, I'm 6 foot and I go to the gym, I lift weights, and it, you know, tend to be alright strength wise, but I think if you're late 60s, middle 70s, you're probably going to struggle a little bit. Maybe not. You might be one of these, you know, beefy old men that could, you know, kick my fucking teeth in for looking at your wife. Second thing is keeping them clean. It's an absolute nightmare. I mean, I've had this a few days and I'm already kind of looking at it thinking, oh, there's a bit of dust there. I can see a tiny little bit of rust, because they do rot, which is another thing. They rust like you wouldn't fucking believe underneath Harleys. They are a nightmare. So this one will be getting a full coat of protection, ACF 50 or GT85 or whatever, just something to kind of help it on its way, especially come the end of the riding season and I'll start putting it away. The Harley alarm system can be a pain in the arse as well. Each Harley comes with a pin code, which I didn't know. I didn't know that Harleys come with a pin code. I had no idea, but somebody told me. He was like, oh yeah, what's your pin code? And I was like, what? What's that? Maybe the dealer should have told me that. I don't know. That's, you know. So if you buy one, make sure you know what your pin code is, or go on YouTube and learn how to access the code, because it will tell you what the code is on your bike, and then either write it down, take a picture of it, or both, like I've done, or change it, which I will do in the next kind of couple of days. The other thing as well is they are highly desirable to be stolen. Not by your average little shit with a balaclava on, which we're highly infected with in the UK at the minute. But these are like stolen to order. So this would be a couple of big burly guys in a van, and they just lift it up and put it straight in the back of that, and then it's gone and it's exported somewhere else. Now, that's the downside. The good side is, look at this thing. Look at it. It is the epitome of all things motorbike. It's beautiful to look at. It sounds amazing. And they're not slow. People that say the Harley Davidsons are slow clearly have never ridden one, especially when it's got a stage 1 or a stage 2 on it, where you kind of just open that engine up a little bit. That being said, the Milwaukee 8 on the Street Glide, well, the Milwaukee 8 engine in general, has a little bit of a problem, and that problem being the oil pump. Some of them are prone to a problem called sumping, which basically means the oil pump just starts misbehaving. I don't want to get into the technicalities of it, because I'll end up waffling about engineering and all kinds of shit, and it causes a bit of oil starvation, throws oil into places it shouldn't be, like out the air filter, and it can be bad for the engine. The engine could in fact leave the chat, which is no good for anybody. Nobody wants that shit. So if you are going to buy one, have a look at the service history and make sure, or see if it's had any problems with the oil pump, see if the oil pump's been changed, or do what I did, sit in a hospital bed after surgery and don't ask that question and just fucking buy it anyway, and then go into mass panic and meltdown. There's 3 levels of people that look at you, one of which is the kids. The kids love it because it's kids, isn't it? You know what I mean? And already, like, I've been sat in supermarket car parks and like kids have been stood next to it having their pictures taken, and which is bizarre to me because I've never had that before with a motorbike. I mean, occasionally when I've had like the race bikes and stuff like that, you know, the jigs as kids will be like, oh, do a rev bomb, and you know, that's as far as it goes. But for kids with the parents to stand next to it and want to have the picture taken, so obviously you do the nice biker thing and you go, yeah, it's okay, come on, yeah, you can lift him on, I'll start it up for you and we'll do all that. That's the first level of people that like these type of bikes. The second one is the male, the man. There could be anywhere between 40 and 60, and they give you a couple of reasons why he's looking at it. One, he's had one and he had to get rid of it. Two, he's always wanted one and his wife won't let him, which is fucking bizarre to me. I don't get that whatsoever. For the love of God. And again, this is just because I went blind recently. For the love of all things fucking holy, just fucking buy the bike. You know what I mean? If you're with anyone, male or female, that stops you doing something that you really, really want to do, life's too short, my friend. Just buy it. You get that guy, and then you get the guy that just comes and chats to you about it and kind of looks at the paint and talks about the engine and all that. And I mean, I love all that, you know what I mean? I'll stand and talk to anybody for as long as you want. And thirdly, you get the old woman walking the dog that really, really, really does not like you one bit. You are an official Harley Davidson piece of shit. Your bike's too loud. You look like one of those Hells Angels types, even though I'm not. Yes, I've got a leather vest on, but there's a reason for that. It's because I'm wearing an armoured hoodie and the vest keeps the wind out and stops me big fat belly fucking flopping around in the wind. I'm not trying to look like a fucking Hells Angel, thank you, Maureen. I also thought about upgrading the bars maybe to 10 or 12s, and for those of you wondering as well about can you just throw ape hangers on this and not have to worry about clutch lines and brake lines, you can do that up to 12 inch, okay? So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I've had it confirmed. I've seen somebody that has got one of these and he said no, there's just a way of routing the stuff. You're basically undoing all these little clips. That's what you're doing. And 10 inch is perfect, 12 inch, that's your limit. I am definitely 100% going to tour this bike. This is not a bike that's just going to be left. This is a 2018 and it's only got 8,000 miles on it. Just like I said, this is the last bike I'm ever going to buy. I'm never going to buy another motorbike now. And all my mates that will be watching my vlogs will be like, yep, we've heard it all before because you've had 38 bikes in 15 years. I have. The problem is, I've always wanted one of these. I'm on the bike that I wanted. So shut your fucking face. Smash your face in. There's a couple of things that are on it as well which make it even better, I think. Cruise control. The cruise control is absolutely brilliant on this thing, because you can just literally activate the cruise control, push the button down, and we're done. We're just sat doing nothing. Turn it off, done. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a great system. And I've always been kind of anti-tech on bikes, you know, the ones that just go, I've got rain mode and sports mode and fucking dynamic penis mode, and I'm not interested in that. But that, yeah, I like the cruise control, that's good. The infotainment system's great. I think if you live in America, this will be great for you. Unfortunately, this doesn't take Apple CarPlay, because that was only from 2019 onwards. That's when they changed to the GTS system. This is the Boom GT, I believe. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but look, I don't need CarPlay because again, it's something else that you're fiddling around with. I don't really rely on it. You know, I've got my phone. If I was really kind of desperate for something like that, then I would just, I don't know, I'd get an actual sat-nav. Don't you fucking turn into me. Yeah, I thought you'd fucking smile. I think he thought like he wanted to be upset with me. To be fair, he probably wasn't. He's probably a really nice guy. But it does. That was an overreaction on my part. That, listen, normally at that point I would edit that out on YouTube, but I'm going to leave that in, and because that's my fault, okay? I thought he was going to take up all the road. I thought he was going to turn into me. He didn't do that, and he kind of looked at me with a bit of a worrying look, Probably because I'm in a blacked out helmet and I'm on a big fucking Harley Davidson with a fucking leather vest on, and he's thought, oh shit. But he's obviously just a really nice guy, because he gave me a little smile and a nod as he went past, so I feel like shit. And again, normally I'd edit that out, but I'm going to leave it in. Oh, I feel like such a dick. They're like, don't you fucking turn into me, mate. I don't think it's particularly thirsty. I mean, I've been flying around on this bike for a few days, and the range has been pretty good. It's saying I've got 147 mile left. Don't know how true that is. You know, I've been kind of just pootling around. I've been up and down the motorway, or if you're in the States, the freeway. I've been up and down the freeway, motherfucker. You have to slow down a lot earlier, get all of your braking done, all of your gear changing done, and you find a lot of these USA motorbike cops that do these lessons, you know, these schools that you can go to. They talk about the friction point on the clutch, which we British people will know as the bite point, the biting point, just where the clutch is just starting to go out. That's where the Harley lives best, at low speed maneuvers. Okay, oh, feeling fucking road potholes again. That's where the Harley lives best, at that friction point or that biting point of the clutch, because if you let it all the way out too early, like it's, you know, again, like on most bikes, but it seems to be more dominant on the Harley, it will want to tip over. And one of the techniques I've had to work on, that's the friction point. Really get it moving, then let it out. What happens is that if you let that clutch out too early and you haven't got enough speed, especially with something this heavy, it'll start to tip. And again, I understand that that's for all motorbikes, but it's more dominant on the Harley because of the weight at the front end. Okay, so friction point, keep it on there. Make sure that bike is moving, and then we can roll on the power and you're away and you're golden. But if you watch these videos of these coppers in the USA, coppers, these police officers, get into trouble with my police officer friends. If you watch them, the way that they do it, they live on that friction point, they live on that biting point of the clutch. I'll show you it again, look. So if I move and I'll let it out too early, and it immediately just starts to have a little wobble. Live in the friction point, kids. That's where this bike likes to be. Alright, as always, I appreciate you watching. If you did come here for a Helix video or a Fractal video or something, then I apologise, but this is the last ever motorbike vlog I'm going to do.